Welcome to SS2 Civic Education. This lesson covers child labor, its definition, causes, effects on children, the legal framework that prohibits it, and the strategies being used to eradicate it in Nigeria and globally. Child labor refers to work that deprives children of their childhood, their potential, and their dignity, and that is harmful to their physical and mental development. Not all work done by children is child labor. Helping at home, assisting in a family business after school hours, or learning a skill that does not affect schooling may not be harmful. Child labor is work that is done by children below the minimum working age, 15 in Nigeria, interferes with compulsory schooling, is mentally, physically, socially, or morally dangerous and harmful, keeps children away from school or causes them to leave school early. The International Labour Organization, ILO, estimates that approximately 160 million children worldwide are engaged in child labor. In Nigeria, the National Bureau of Statistics estimates that approximately 15 million Nigerian children between the ages of 5 and 17 are engaged in some form of child labor, often in agriculture, domestic service, street hawking, and mining. Principal causes of child labor in Nigeria: poverty, the most significant cause. Poor families depend on children's income for survival. Low school enrollment and high dropout rates. When children are not in school, they are vulnerable to exploitation. Traditional beliefs: in some communities, children are expected to contribute economically from an early age. Orphanhood, family disintegration, and the informal economy that accommodates child workers. Effects of child labor on children: educational deprivation. Children who work instead of attending school are denied the chance to develop their potential. Physical harm: children working in mines, quarries, construction, and agriculture suffer injuries, chemical exposure, and respiratory disease. Psychological harm: exploitation and abuse in domestic service, sexual exploitation in trafficking, and the stress of adult economic responsibility damage children's mental health. Social harm: child laborers miss the experience of childhood, play, socialization, and skill development that schooling provides. They are more likely to remain in poverty as adults. Child labor therefore perpetuates intergenerational poverty. Nigeria has a comprehensive legal framework against child labor. The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria prohibits forced labor and guarantees the rights of children to free compulsory education. The Child Rights Act 2003 is the primary law protecting children from labor exploitation. Section 28 of the Child Rights Act: a child shall not be employed or contracted to work as a domestic worker, as a hawker, in industrial work, or in any occupation likely to be harmful to their health, education, or development. The minimum working age under Nigerian law is 15 years. The Employment Act Cap 12 restricts the employment of young persons under 15 in industrial workplaces. The Trafficking in Persons, Prohibition, Enforcement and Administration Act criminalizes trafficking of children for labor. At the international level, Nigeria has ratified ILO Conventions 138, minimum age, and 182, worst forms of child labor. This requires Nigeria to prohibit and eliminate the worst forms of child labor, including slavery, trafficking, debt bondage, use of children in armed conflict, and prostitution. Nigeria has adopted several strategies to eradicate child labor. The National Policy on Child Labor and the National Action Plan on Child Labor set out government commitments and timelines. Key strategies: expanding access to free and quality education. The Universal Basic Education (UB) program makes primary and junior secondary education free and compulsory. Increasing retention rates reduces the pool of out-of-school children vulnerable to labor. Social protection programs. The National Social Investment Program provides cash transfers to the poorest families through the Conditional Cash Transfer Scheme. Families who keep their children in school receive financial support. Public awareness campaigns by NAPTIP, UNICEF, and NGOs educate communities about child rights and the harms of child labor. Community engagement. Local traditional rulers, religious leaders, and community organizations are key partners in changing attitudes that normalize child labor. Economic empowerment of women. Evidence shows that when mothers have economic security and agency, children are less likely to be withdrawn from school. Today we covered that child labor deprives children of schooling, health, and childhood, caused primarily by poverty and low school enrollment. The Child Rights Act 2003 prohibits child labor below age 15 in Nigeria. Nigeria has also ratified ILO Conventions 138 and 182 against the worst forms of child labor. Strategies for eradication include universal education, social protection, cash transfers, community engagement, and economic empowerment of families. Every child in Nigeria has a right to education, health, and protection from exploitation. For your civic action project, research and share one Nigerian civil society organization working on child labor eradication, identify their main strategies, and present to your class how communities can support their work.